Hi everyone, my name is Kassel Franco.
And I'm Andrew Dugan, and today we'll be presenting on our student-led DHSI project from the last summer on the Drew Acorn Archives.
So some of you know I am co-editor-in-chief of Drew Acorn, and I have actually been involved with the newspaper since I joined Drew. And because of that, I have been very lucky to have access to all of Drew's original newspapers. We started as a newspaper in 1928, which is the year the undergraduate college was created. And this is a quote from the first ever issue. I truly do believe that the Acorn aims to serve Drew in every single way a paper can, but it is also a disservice that people don't have access to the past issues of the Drew Acorn. I have been very fortunate, but I have also been very sad about the state of the issues at the back of the office. The room is so bad that the library has nicknamed it the Acorn Morgue. And so when I was talking to Andrew about this, we started fantasizing about having an online repository of all Drew Acorn issues that people could access to do research, to just browse because they were bored, or just to learn more about their university's history. So this was in February last year, and we started meeting with some people who were very ambitious on this project, but we didn't really have the tools to do it. And we got in contact with Wendy Comer, who suggested us to join the DHSI. We were actually the only student-led project in the program, and that gave us access to incredible tools and also the guidance of Danielle Ray, our guardian angel. She was able to put us in contact with a company that turned the microfilm copies of the issues into searchable PDFs. And while we did that, we worked on a timeline that Andrew's going to talk a little bit more about. Finally, after DHSI, we have been focusing on keeping track of how many issues we have, physical issues at the morgue, and which ones are missing so that we can upload them to the website. And as of spring 2020, we have been open for public, and you can actually access the archives online.
Yeah, so something that was important for us with this project was to showcase the ways in which data and different articles within the Acorn can be showcased in interactive and visual ways. And Danielle Ray actually showed us this software called timeline.js, and it works with Google Sheets. And we were able to sift through different issues of the Acorn, looking for different mentionings of women's integration at the college, and to sort of track the student pulse on the eventual integration of women at Drew, the different obstacles that they faced thereafter. And something that was a bit difficult with this part of the project was that we were relying solely on physical issues, looking through hundreds upon hundreds of newspaper issues, looking for different mentionings. So Cass is going to talk a little bit about why that is no longer the case, and this project has found it an easier way to do that kind of research.
Yeah, so you might be wondering, where can you read these issues online? And we have actually been able to house at the Drew Library's website these Acorn repository. So if you go on walter.drew.edu/theacorn, you'll be able to find these issues organized by year. If you go on, say, 1974, you will be able to see all of the first pages that we have available for that year. You can see obviously the transition from like a magazine back to a newspaper. The 70s were weird years. But say you actually had a purpose, you were not just browsing around, say you're interested in the history of the team houses at Drew. So you want to see what the first mention of team house is. And luckily for us, they actually mentioned this on the first page, but we're not always that lucky. So you might be able to actually search. And that is way easier than that one Andrew and Elizabeth were doing during the summer, because this is a searchable PDF and you have access to it. If you are familiar with Drew today, you will see a familiar name over here, the Women's Concerns House. And this is just one of the ways that you can connect with Drew's history and Drew's culture by accessing all the issues of the Acorn.
Yeah, and so speaking of Drew culture, we're really we really believe that this project lends itself to collaboration and also continuation. We think that the online database is an awesome resource for further research, further timeline creation. We're hoping that students will be inspired to create and research aspects of their school, whether if it's something as important and critical to the history of the United States as the Civil Rights Movement, or if it's something as Drew specific as the creation of a department or the start of the Washington semester. We think that this database really lends itself to further research. So we hope that students will be encouraged to utilize it.
Yeah, so if you are a current student or an alum or a faculty member, you're interested in seeing how you can use it through Acorn archives, just shoot us an email. Andrew and I are graduating in May, but this project is going to continue even beyond their graduation. So let us know if you have anything to add. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.